Hi again. This is a position from the game Frank Marshall versus Amos Byrne, Ostend 1907, and it's white to checkmate in 5 moves. Now Frank Marshall has been on a bit of a foray into black's king side, and as can be seen he's made somewhat of a mess of it, and black's king is very much exposed on e6. So how would you finish this game off? What is the key move here? White is the exchange down, but that's not a problem. White hasn't castled. To give you a clue, he will castle. That is one of the moves as we move along here, but the key move, let's give you another moment or two. It is a checking move, as is so usual in these instances. Black's king at the moment can only move either to d5 or take the knight on f5. So I think it's important to close down the opportunity of moving to d5. So the correct move is d5 check, and this pawn of course is supported by the queen. So black only has one move here, which is to take the knight. So Marshall willingly gives another piece away. So white's next move, another checking move. For anyone who's seen it, well done. Queen takes the pawn on h5, check. Now black here will ultimately have to move his king into e4, but he sees that he can extend the number of moves by 1. He can't move the king anywhere else. He can't take the bishop, of course, because that is covered by the pawn on e3. So he can either move the king to e4 or he can interpose the queen. Well, let's interpose the queen. That's black's second move. So white accepts it. And of course black has to play the forced move, king e4. So what does white do here on his fourth move? It's a crushing move, it's a waiting move. I did mention before that white hadn't castled yet, but he's going to. So that's the clue. This pawn is hanging at the moment, so you need to protect this, otherwise the king will take it and escape. And of course c4 is not that attractive because you could come to here. So anyone that's seen it, well done again. It is in fact castles. And the rook on d1 covers the pawn on d5 and the d line. So how does black play his fourth move there? Well, if he plays anything other than the next move, it's going to be f3 mate. So to stop f3 mate, the only move that he has at his disposal, these pieces really can do nothing now at all. This is a key square here, as will be seen in a moment. The only move really that he has is to take the bishop. And of course he thinks to himself, now, if white should play f3, I can then take the pawn. So how does white finish the game? White to play his fifth move, mate in 1. Well, I did say before that d4 is an important square, and so here it is, rook d4, and that is checkmate. That's a very good finish by a very fine player, Frank Marshall, who won Cambridge Springs 1904 very impressively. As impressively as Alekhine won San Remo 1930 and bled 1931, I think by either 14 out of 15 or 15 out of 16, but it was a very impressive result. And what I would say about Frank Marshall is, although he's been overshadowed by certain other American players, principally Morphy, Pillsbury, Reuben Fine, and of course Bobby Fischer and Sammy Reshevsky, when he could play, he really could win, and this has proved positive of that. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and goodbye for now.